I'm Bisi Esuruoso, a mother, an educator, a wife, a friend, and a patriotic Nigerian.
Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Ogbodo. I'm a teacher in the Lagoon School. My name is Owoy Esere, an early child educator of the Lagoon School, Lekki, Lagos. Today, for part of our safety week, we had a safety seminar that was facilitated by the Safe Schools Lagos. I'd like to say that safety for our children should be priority for everyone right now, and I'm glad that we have some professionals in SLAG come to train us on what we're supposed to do. Areas where we may not have even considered as safety issues for our children, they've been able to open our eyes to such things, and I really appreciate them for that.
So, education is very important, and my journey into education, I can say, is by accident, because I became a consultant in 2001 when, after the recognition by Tony Blair, and I was thrown into consultancy because I became a celebrity overnight in the UK. In the UK, I would get 20 to 200 letters in the mail per week from fans, because in those days we don't have social media. So people were writing to me, people were inviting me into their churches to come and give talks and talk about my experience at number 10 Downing Street. It was such a big deal to people. I didn't know that it was a big deal. So that now made me got introduced to the Minister of Education then, Professor Tunde Adeniro, and then I started coming to Nigeria to work for well-meaning educational organization. And then one day I took my CV and I went to the Ministry of Education, and I went to see Dr. Lekepito, who was the Commissioner for Education, and I said, "Sir, this is my CV. I was recognized in the UK and I would like to volunteer for your ministry." And he was very happy, and he said, "Okay, as long as it's not going to cost us anything, we're ready to take you." That's how I started consulting, and I would do, he would put me on committees to do some executive summary for him and all that, and that was how I started. And then after him, I tried to work with the next administration, which was the administration of Governor Babaji Tunde Raji Fashola. You know, unfortunately, I wrote many proposals, sent it to him. He will forward it to the deputy governor. You know, he will even copy me, he will blind copy me in it. He was a good governor. He didn't know me, he didn't know who was sending an email, because I didn't send it to him as somebody who knew me. And I was not able to do anything until I met this great woman, Mrs. Dominga Odebumi. I met her at a random place, and we were just talking about life in general. I think I met her in May, I think it was May 2011. And there was something on television about Governor Akala, bless his soul, you know, late Governor Akala. And that was the day Governor Akala lost his second term bid in Oyo State. And everybody was jubilating in the room because they prefer Governor Ajimobi. And I was the only one standing up for Governor Akala. And people said, "Hi, young woman, why are you standing up for this man that everybody is not standing up for?" And I said, "Well, if you know what I've done with him, I did a short consultancy with Oyo State in between 2009 and 2011. and it's a pity that this guy is going. We got computers that we are going to give to every child in Oyo State, the blah, blah, blah. And I told them everything I did with Akala, and they were impressed. They said, oh, really? And when I was leaving, Mrs. Dominga gave me a card, a plain card that has her name. She said, oh, Madam, it was really nice meeting you. I really enjoyed our conversation. This is my card. I took the card. It didn't mean anything to me. The card had no logo. I didn't know that she was the DG, CEO of Lagos State Safety Commission at the time. I didn't know. I just took her card and that was it. But because she has an unusual name, Dominga Odebumi. So that name Dominga stuck in my memory. And that was it. And I went away. Then, about 3-4 months later, I started getting a letter from the Ministry of Special Duties. They would call me. They want me to come for a think tank meeting on school safety. I ignored it because I thought, I don't want to be going after the government people, because at the end of the day, nothing comes out of it. Let me just face my private business, because at that time, I'd established my company, School Run, and I was training. I was going around. I traversed the entire nation. I went to Benue State, Kaduna State, just looking for schools. If I hear any good schools in Nigeria, I would go and cover it, put it in my magazine called the School Run magazine. I started that publication, and that was what I was doing. And Mrs. Dominga kept on trying to reach me, but I was snubbing the invitation until she gave me a ring one day. My phone rang, and that day I was at Lekki British International School as the guest of honor for their valedictory service. So when I got the call, I said, oh, she said, oh, I've sent so many people to you. I've sent you a letter. How have you not responded? Immediately she mentioned her name, I remember. I said, oh, Mrs. Dominga Odebumi, how are you, ma? We greeted one day. I remembered her. And I said, I didn't know the letters were from you. I will show up for the next meeting.
Good day, everyone. We are here live at Radisson Blue Hotel, and we are here for the Education Writers Summit. And we have a lot of dignitaries here. We have the Lagos State government, the immigration services, school owners, and the national presidents for private schools. And we have the linked presidents also. That's the League of Muslim School President. We have all of them present here at the summit. And it has been an awesome one to talk about student safety, how to eradicate drugs in schools, and a whole lot of topics have been raised here today. And I'm sure people have really learned a lot, and they'll be able to take one or two things, be able to work with in their schools. So right now, you can join us as we take a walk through the hall and see what's going on there, what's happening over there. Please come with me.
Meeting with Dr. Bisi Esuruoso was at a forum precisely at Adeyemi Bero Hall at the Lagos State Secretariat Alausa Ikeja, where we had a safety program, and I was moderating. I was the MC of the occasion. It was all about talking about safety matters, safety issues, as it concerns we impacting positive values, safety values in the younger ones in different schools across the state. And we never knew that sitting very quietly somewhere was the organizer, was the mobilizer, was the architect of that setting. It was until I had the privilege to want to read a profile of our profiling, and when I was told that I have not done a bit of the program item, and I was asked to do something, what about? And I saw the one I had seen when I came in early. She was sitting very quietly. You wouldn't have thought she was even the one behind everything we were doing there. And it was when I was faced with that reality that dawned on me that I have to read this profile, and behold, so this was the woman that I've seen in the morning quietly seated, doing quietly, just watching what was being done all day. And I swear, it was an intimidating profile to know that Nigerians are still well recognized globally. She's a global woman of international reckoning, and her profile speaks for her.
When I was young, I didn't know what I wanted to be. My parents wanted me to be a medical doctor. My father wanted me to be a medical doctor. And because I was very bright as a young child, I was very good. I was an all-rounder, I used to score very good marks in English, maths, everything. But after I did my O-level, I was confused. I didn't know what to do. I wasn't really attracted to the medical field because of blood, emotions, and unfortunate happenings that I know that profession is characterized, because I'm a very, very emotional human being, and I know that I will get emotionally attached to my patients as a medical doctor. The more I found out about medicine, the less I wanted to be a doctor. So when I finally did my JAM, of course, I didn't get enough mark for JAM, so I had to settle in for biological sciences. And then at that time, I became so attracted to pharmacy. So I thought, I would be a pharmacist. I would love to be a pharmacist. But unfortunately, my JAM score was so low. So I had to go in for biological sciences, and I went in for botany. But you know what? I love to tell the story of how I got admitted into Unilag. I got admitted into Unilag by my own ability as a 16-year-old girl at that time. And how did I? I had friends who were in Unilag at the time, and these friends were telling me to come to Unilag so that they can introduce me to the admission officer at the Faculty of Science. The admission officer then was Dr. Olowo Kudejo. He's now a professor, and he just got retired about 2 years ago from University of Lagos. So I would go early in the morning. I would stand in front of Dr. Olowo Kudejo's office. He's still alive. He can testify to this. I would stand there. He will come. He will say, "Good morning." I'll say, "Good morning, sir." He will enter his office. He will go. After about 4 days, when he saw me in front of his office, one day he called me. He said, "Young lady, how are you?" I said, "I'm fine, sir." "Who are you here to see?" I said, "You." He said, "What do you mean, me? Who sent you to me?" I said, "Nobody." He said, "So what do you want?" I said, "Admission." He smiled and he said, "Come in." The rest was history. That's how I became Dr. Olowo Kudejo's niece, adopted niece. I will carry his briefcase. We will come to JAMB office together to come and do his business there. All the administrative work and assistance that he needed, I was doing it for him. I was helping him compile all the lists. I was helping him do all the things that he needed to do, collate. People will come with letters to say that they want their children to change a course or change a university. I found out about everything, and that was how he helped me, and my name was in the supplementary list for botany. He asked me, which course do I want to do in the entire science faculty? I said, botany. Why? Because I thought if I do botany, I'll be able to change to pharmacy, because botany is very similar to pharmacy, especially pharmacognosis, that is a branch of pharmacy. So I thought, if I do botany, I might be able to change, even if I'm not able to change. When I finish my botany, I can proceed to do pharmacy. And when I finish my botany with the help of my dad, I call him dad because he's the one stable male figure in my life. Dr. Mike Oyebanjo, the owner of Mopsin Pharmaceutical. You know, through him, I am also an executive director of Mopsin Pharmaceutical today. He wanted me to become a pharmacist so that I can sit on the CEO's desk one day and run the company. But unfortunately for me, I fell in love when I started my pharmacy in Ife. I only did one semester. By the time I went to England, I never came back because I stayed because love found me. And that was the history of my first degree and what would have been my second degree that I did finish in Ife. I have a matriculation number in Ife. And on getting to England, I was so restless because I wasn't happy that I only had a degree in botany. And I wanted to do pharmacy, and I found that it was very difficult for me to do pharmacy as a mature student. There wasn't anything for mature student except if I have an A level. That was the only way I could go into pharmacy. So I decided to do my MBA, Masters in Business Administration, which I did in 1994 at the London South Bank University. And before then, I did a postgraduate diploma in management studies.
And at that moment, I said to myself, wow, in it all, I saw humility. In it all, I saw a woman that is intellectually based. In it all, I saw competence, capability. I saw a woman with that agility, so to speak, with an ability, you know, that has been transforming a changed narrative, which today the Lagos State government is benefiting from in the Safe School Lagos initiative that has changed the narrative of how schools are now observing safety rules and regulations in their respective schools.
All on board!
You and I for safety in schools. You and I for safety in schools. You and I, you and I, you and I for safety in schools. You and I to save the child. You and I to save the child. Oh, you and I, you and I, you and I to save the child. You and I for safer echo. You and I for safer echo. You and I, you and I, you and I for safer echo.
The vision of the project basically is to create a safety culture and compliance in schools. And the mission is to make schools safe by avoiding safety infractions, by preventing risk and raising general awareness amongst the school teams. And that is what Safe School Lagos is about, SLAG. And Safe School Lagos is basically consists of 4 key elements because there's a framework now for Safe School Lagos, because Safe School Lagos is now an improvement upon the school safety project that we launched in 2013. We reviewed the framework we had then, we reviewed the minimum standard guidance that we have then, we moved it from 10 guidance now to 20. Now we have 20 guidance, 12 for day school, and we have 8 for boarding school. I was asked by the present DG CEO, Mr. Lanre Mojola, to to go and review it, and to also now extended it to boarding school because of the incident that happened in Dowen College in 2021. So, what are we saying?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Esuruoso Angel. I am from the first student of Lagos College. I want to talk about safety when looking at today. Safety is the act of taking necessary precautions to avoid from the accident or danger. Safety, especially in the Lagos School example, is valued among pupils and students. Some are not allowed to go into the school classes, and we even have association, bullying association. And I have my community with me, we can have a slogan, and the slogan says, "Sit fighting." So in our slogan we can see bullying association, where we guide other peoples not to do bullying and not to do wrong.
Well, if you don't start something like this, you're not going to have an end result. So yes, it is a worthy movement. If you, for me instance, in Christian schools where we have 16 different schools, where safety of children are paramount, if you don't have guidelines and rules from government side, it can't work. So we appreciate it. And that's why there's a huge number, all our principals, all our head teachers, all our vices are here today. Definitely there's a role. What are we in education for? It's the safety of our children is more important than results even.
Actually, I know it will impress the audience to know about the Self-School Initiative. The Self-School Initiative came up after the adoption of the Children Friendship of Girls in 2014. And the Self-School Initiative was initiated by Gordon Brown. So that particular year, after that year in 2015, over 2,000 out of school children that were affected by the insurgency in the Northeast were distributed to 43 unity colleges, otherwise known as federal government colleges. And the program, since after that, continued. We are looking at everything that is in collaboration with the North-East Development Commission. We are looking at how to expand the program because other places are affected by the insurgency. In the Northwest, we have states like Zamfara, my home state, Katsina, Sokoto, even to some extent Kaduna. And then Central we have Kogi, Niger, where they are all affected by the insurgency. So we are trying to expand this program. It's a very beautiful program. And we need to see how these children have been able to transform in our schools. Many of them have proceeded to higher institutions, as I told you.
In school safety, we have trained over 2,000 teachers. We have reached over 350 schools. It will be very close to 500 schools now.
there is nothing we can do without standardizing our objectives to keep children safe everywhere that they are. And especially in the school, children spend like, like half of their day for every school term. Half of the day they are in school, they're away from their parents. And it's very, very important to ensure that when they are out here, when they are in school, they are safe. We are sure that they are well protected and that all things concerning them, we can be satisfied that everything is going well and that no evil, no happenstance that is not good, happens in their lives when they are in charge of educators.
Absence of safety is a problem to everyone, and that is why it's a welcome development.
This is a good initiative. It's a good movement. It's something of joy to see that the government is interested in things that are happening in the school, in the safety of the children. Every parent wants to be sure that the government, the parents, the teachers, the school is interested in the child care. So this is really a good movement, and I'm really hoping that they get to reach out to all the schools, including the government schools and not just private, so that I really want them to make this big. I really want to see this big in the next few months. I want it to be big,
However, we've been able to use that I've been able to contribute to the education landscape in Nigeria. And I believe that there's still more that can be done in education, because that's just one aspect. There are so many other aspects of education that needs urgent attention, and it can be done.
The second one is that in terms of the psychological well-being of students and staff, we need to codify prevention, which means we look not only at when the problem has started, but that those policies, we must have the right policies for safeguarding. That's one. Two, we need to ensure, we need to codify how we take care in terms of the violence and the prevention of drugs within schools. One of the rising areas in Nigeria today is drugs, not just cocaine, but all these other tramadol, sniper, etc. That they're using. And I think we need to now become more intentional in working not just with security within the campus, but external agencies to work very closely with our health institutions. And I think that it's already happened, but I don't know whether it's codified. And I think it's a major thing to make sure that we have these groups of people working within our campuses to alert us before we have a problem. The third one is also codifying the issue of maybe screening for drug use when students come in. And finally, that any health institution is not an island. One of the things that we're doing in the University of Lagos is reaching out to other tertiary health institutions in terms of where identified predators, sexual predators, bullying, when they're thrown out of one healthcare institution, they go to another one to continue the process. So we need to have a database of people who have been perennial problem people make mistakes, but there are people who it is a habit. Such people should not be allowed within the education sector. And I think we need that to be put in place because it is a major problem that we have found. And that irrespective of how we are funded, federal, state, or local government, once we're within a state, we are all catering for the people within that state. And these divisions are really about how we manage them. So I think we need to really speak to cooperation in the way that all of us, all tertiary institutions within the state, irrespective of how they are funded, we need to speak to, and I think I come from the federal government as in dealing with the states, that there must be cooperation, sharing of database, and I think it's very important for security that we're all talking together. Thank you very much.
As you know, that safety in school is not only dealing with violence or attack by banditry. Safety in school also includes bullying among children. It also includes cyber bullying, physical bullying. It includes gender violence. It includes the fact that the environment within the school should be free and constantly remind the children of a need to keep the simple rules and regulations. So when we talk about safety in school, we are not looking only at the physical violence that often come from the external persons or group of people. It's even what happened within the children to teachers, teachers to parents, parents to management, and the list goes on.
For Safe School Lagos, I would like to put out a word to everybody out there to know that safety is everybody's business. It's everybody's responsibility. Parents, educators, staff, support staff, our neighbors, uncles, friends, everybody is connected to school one way or the other. And as such, if you say something, say something. If you have any concerns or need support on the management of safety in a child's school, especially parents, in your child or ward school, you can report any safety concern, staff conduct, or any safeguarding issues to SLAG. We are working directly with the Lagos State Safety Commission to ensure that we raise awareness, we signpost you to what you can do to safeguard your children in school and to give you a voice in the way your children are being looked after in school. Because the project is about ensuring secure and safe learning environment for children in school. It's about reducing risk from school trips and outdoor activity. So it's something that everybody must get involved with. It's about regulating the education sector on safety, right? Before now, there have been no standard, but now we have the minimum standards and we have the framework by which those standards are to be implemented in school. Parents need to find out about that. They need to ensure that their children's school have keyed into SLAG. They need to come for the parent hangout. We do the hangout every month. Once every month, we do an online session where we bring topical subjects to them that will help them to understand what the government is doing, what Safe School Lagos is about, and what their children's schools should be doing, and also to understand how they can support their own children education by ensuring that they are safe and they stay safe and they are well when they are brought to school.